Ladies and gentlemen, how's it going? Once again, I'm Neff from Nev's Tech Bits, here to give you some information on social self-defense. There's lots of groups online. There's this group, there's the equation group, we all know the types. But there's one particular group of people that we all need to be aware of, and these people are manipulating our social networks. They're definitely on YouTube. They're definitely on Reddit. Accounts get sold on Reddit to help groups like this. But I want you to know about the 50 Cent Army. Now, the 50 Cent Army is, a lot of people say that it was China's way of paying people 50 cents in order to defend China. And there's two kinds of 50 centers. And then there's where they came from. A lot of people say they came from the government. But while I'm getting more into it, it sounds more and more like the 50 Cent Army actually came from an ads or a job that you could get when you were in China. You would get base salary plus 50 cents or whatever 50 cents is to China, which isn't even 1 penny for us. But 50 Cent Army, you post an article online, or somebody has an article posted online, and the 50 Cent Army gets in there and it's like, oh, did you say anything bad about China? You said something bad about China. I'm going to say something bad about America. I'm going to say something bad about you. I'm going to figure out things about you and say bad things about them. It is the Chinese wolf warrior personality. If someone comes after you, you go after them, just like the Scientologists, just like, well, there's all kinds of groups that are just like that. It's a tactic a lot of people are familiar with. If they take out one of you, you take out 10 of them. I'm pretty sure there was a anti-mob movie about that, something like that. But the wolf warrior is the thing that the Chinese are going for. They've been trying to push it a lot in politics recently, but they've just started pulling back. But anyways, the 50 Cent Army, there's different groups of them. Originally, it sounds like they were particularly groups being purchased from establishments within China, not government establishments, but private establishments that would hire people to come in and say good things about things they were trying to promote and bad things about competitors or things that they didn't like or things that they were being paid to talk about. There's a lot of posts on Reddit that are very suspect, and I have definitely run in to the 50 Cent Army. Maybe not the Chinese 50 Cent Army, but I've definitely run into people on Reddit pushing ideas that it seriously seemed like they were just there. They were just being paid to do it. Now, I know how shallow that sounds, but there's a lot of people, if you've been on Reddit for a while, you get pretty good at picking these guys out. But they're out there in China. These guys can live off almost nothing. Like, let's face it, we all know how China is. There's people who will work for that. But not only that, but China can be an interesting place. Like, any electronics that we have, like you see this Seagate drive that I have here, it was probably, parts of it were definitely made in China. Any electronics you can find come from China and were created with cheap or slave labor, flat out slave labor. And that's freaking amazing. Now, the thing in China is that the individual is not as good as the party. You need to be toting the party's line. If someone can get thrown in jail just from being paid off, and if you're in jail, you have to work. Now, a lot of people say that that is also in America, where they'll throw you in jail just so that you have to work. That just so that you can work in the privatized prison. We had work farms around here in Canada, but we shut them down. Look at Burwash, Camp Bison. Whole town shut down when that place shut down just because they thought it was slave labor. But at least when you were in Burwash, Camp Bison, you could get ticketed for a trade. I'm not sure if it's like that in the States. Everyone's heard of American prisoners stamping license plates. And I think that's 12 cents an hour in the States. But anyways, in China, they don't even have to have a reasonable reason to throw you in jail. They can even come up with something, throw you in jail. If you're dissonant, if you sound like you said something, if you said something in WeChat that they didn't like and it got reported, then off to jail. Just like that, you're in jail. You got to work. If you don't like the People's Party, if you say something about Chairman Mao, If you say something about whoever the president is down there looking like Winnie the Pooh, which he does absolutely look like Winnie the Pooh. And maybe he would be Winnie the Pooh if his heart wasn't so full of, maybe I shouldn't say it. Maybe if I was raised in China, it would be different. But ultimately, the idea that I'm pushing here is be suspect on social media, because there are other places that people are flat out getting paid. People are flat out getting paid to spread disinformation, to spread certain information, to defend China also, or to give online reviews. There are people out there who will do this. There are absolutely people out there that'll do this. And you know what? Usually I can tell the ones that are on Reddit when I post the information about, you can actually buy these. You can buy Reddit accounts, Instagram accounts, all of these accounts. You can purchase them on eBay right now. There's an American account with 8,000 karma going for $200. $200, ladies and gentlemen. There's always accounts being sold on eBay, and there's a website that I keep getting spammed with on one of my videos of where you can go to purchase these accounts. And it just blows me away. You can purchase PayPal accounts with PayPal or Bitcoin or Ethereum. And man, when you see this stuff, it just, the 50 Cent Army, folks, the 50 Cent Army is absolutely out there. And I wouldn't be too surprised if it was in the housing markets, if it was in different Reddits about the housing market, which is one conversation, which brings me to this video actually. I was talking to someone in Portland. I'm subscribed to Portland because reasons, and they're really changing things in Portland. They're making it so that single houses are getting knocked down and new places really cheap are getting built with 4 townhouses in it, and it's supposed to be sold for a lot less. And everyone in the thread was supposed to be freaking thrilled with it. You would think reasonably everyone would be thrilled with it. But there were some people, definitely a lot of people, who weren't. And somebody posted that I don't see why people aren't thrilled with this. This is Portland. Portland is left wing. Portland wants houses for the poor. Portland is so far left leaning. So far left leaning. The kind of people that will complain about the complaints that they had are people on the far right. So I posted, don't forget there are people out there who are literally being paid for this. And then just one person was trying to get right into it with me, and I was giving them the information. It's like, here, check out eBay. You can see flat out that people are selling accounts, and they're like, yeah, but they're all blank, and shows me a picture. Yeah, well, one under those first 3. The $200 one I'm talking about. They didn't reply to that at all. I could be off about that, and sometimes there's just some nuances about the way the comments come in that give you impression that I'm not sure that this guy's got English as a first language. But anyways, it's out there, and we need to keep this stuff in mind, that there are people on the internet who are there being paid just to throw a view, basically. Anyways, that's all I got today. But seriously, research it for yourself, the 50 Cent Army. It's really interesting. And once you start seeing that, you might start looking at things a little bit different in certain comment section. That's it for me, folks. Have a good one, and take care of each other.